and Stephen Gay wrapping up the Jackets' big 42-21 win over the South Aiken Thoroughbreds in round 2 of the state 4A playoffs. Where the Jackets win the toss, they defer their option. South Aiken comes out, big play by Chris Roberts, long run, gets them deep into Jacket territory. They force a turnover on downs. They stop them on 4th down, get the football back. They start the football game on offense with a 6-play, 72-yard drive. Trey Houston capping it with a 42-yard throw to Quay White, and just like that, Jackets up to a 7-0 lead.
Well, we talked in the pregame. I got my hand warmers. It was a cold night, but we talked in the pregame. Quay White has got to step up and be the Quay White we've seen all season. Got to have a big game, set the tone right there from the start.
Jackets get the football back, and with 3:43 to play in the first quarter, they throw that little middle screen, Dre Williams. He takes it 35 yards. Jackets up 14-0.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and our stars stepped up tonight.
Absolutely. Jackets hold a 14-0 lead. Roberts, the big back, give that kid credit. He was a huge offensive weapon for the Thoroughbreds, just not enough tonight. He gets a 6-yard touchdown run to cut the Jacket lead to 14-7 to close out the first quarter. But first play of the second quarter is a kickoff by South Aiken. They kick it down the middle of the field. Worm, it looks like no man's land. We're yelling, get on it, get on it. Who gets on it? Quay White scoops it and goes 70 yards.
Scoop and score. Just like it's like he drew it up. Coaches are saying, no, get away. Quay wasn't listening. He made a play.
He had a big night tonight. Roberts does get a 2-yard run to cut the Jacket lead at that point to 21-14. But then Quay White again, 8-yard touchdown catch from quarterback Trey Houston. Jackets go in leading 28-14. It kind of got started off slow. The Jackets 3 have to give it back to them. They trade punts a couple of times. But then, once again, who is it? This time it's Quay White, 50-yard punt return.
Well, credit our defense. We came out, got the ball the second half kickoff. Offense sputtered, kicked it right back to South Aiken. They drive down on a couple penalties. Our defense stood strong and held, and that gave our offense another opportunity for Quay to make another touchdown.
Yeah, it was definitely because, Roberts was the guy. If the ball game was close, he could have definitely been a difference, but they kept extending that lead. After the 35-14 lead, they bring in backup quarterback Matthew Huff. He does what he always does when they put him in there in that zone read game. 6-yard touchdown run, 42-14. Thoroughbreds do get a late touchdown to cut the final score, 42-21. I want to congratulate Quay White, offensive player of the game, Simpson Carr player of the game, and Nigel Smith, who was all over. You talked to him after the game. He talked about how he was a great running back, but they did get him on the ground.
And we talked about that too. You get him going east-west, and that's what you want to do. Once he gets north-south and breaks that initial line of scrimmage, it's trouble. And he showed that on that first couple runs in the first quarter. But we settled down, got our big guys involved, cut him down at the point of attack, and really wasn't a factor all night.
Yeah, huge win tonight. Jackets moved to the 3rd round. Old nemesis, the Greenville Red Raiders, coming into town. Should be a great football game next week at Dooley Field.
Well, you can bet they're going to make adjustments from that first time we beat them. Beat them pretty handily. Got a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We got to continue that next week, but Greenville's going to come in here ready for bear.
Both teams playing with a lot of momentum. We talk about the mistakes and all those things are magnified. When you get into the playoffs, it'll be a big atmosphere here. We want to tell all you guys to get out here to Dooley Field. It was still not the best crowd we've had all this year, Worm, but get out here next week. There's no reason not to come. We're playing our old nemesis, the Greenville Red Raiders, 3rd round of the playoffs. Best entertainment in town, so make sure you're here. But if you can't come, you can always hear us on www.yellowjacketsports.net and, of course, on AM 800 WPJ.